Cosmic horror, sometimes known as Lovecraftian horror, is a subgenre of horror fiction. It is a weird fiction that emphasizes horror of the unknowable and incomprehensible. It usually contains shocking elements as well as plenty of gore. The name Lovecraftian horror came from the American author H.P. Lovecraft, of course. We will avoid any spoilers so you can enjoy these books yourself, but I assume you've already read them. So let's jump into the top 5 cosmic horror books you need to read. Coming in at number 5 we have Cthulhu's Reign by Daryl Schweitzer. Cthulhu's Reign is an anthology of original horror short stories edited by Daryl Schweitzer. The book collects 15 short stories by various authors with an introduction by the editor. They all share the Cthulhu mythos setting originated by H.P. Lovecraft, with the twist that the dreaded revival of the fearsome Great Old Ones who once ruled the earth have finally come back to take it back, taking the mythos from the realm of contemporary horror into that of apocalyptic and post-apocalyptic fiction. Some of the darkest hints in all of H.P. Lovecraft's Cthulhu mythos relate to what will happen after the Old Ones return and take over the earth. In the Dunwich horror, the semi-human half-breed Wilbur Whately speaks in his diary of travelling to non-human cities at the earth's magnetic poles when the earth is cleared off, and hints at his own promised transfiguration. Very few mythos stories have ever touched on this. What happens when the stars are right? The sunken city of R'lyeh rises from beneath the waves, and Cthulhu is unleashed upon the world for the last time. What happens when the other Old Ones, long since banished from our universe, break through and descend from the stars? What would the reign of Cthulhu be like on a totally transformed planet where mankind is no longer the master? It won't be simply the end of everything, it will be a time of new horrors and of utter strangeness. It will be a time when humans with a taint of unearthly blood in their ancestry may come into their own. It will be a time foreseen only by authors with the kind of finely honed imaginative visions as those included in Cthulhu's Reign. I don't want to reveal too much or give away any spoilers, but this is definitely one for the reading list. In at number 4, The Croning by Laird Barron. As one of the most prolific contributors to contemporary cosmic horror, Barron has not only written tons of short stories in the subgenre, but some full-length novels as well. The Croning tells the story of Donald Miller and his wife Michelle, who have been married for nearly half a century and travelled all over the world. In Michelle's relentless pursuit of odd anthropological findings, Don has always trailed her happily from what he can remember at least, but now, at the age of almost 80, he's starting to realise that something about Michelle isn't quite right. Now all things must converge. Donald will discover the dark secrets along the edges, unearthing savage truths about his wife Michelle, their adult twins, and all he knows and trusts. For Donald is about to stumble on the secret of the Croning. Strange things exist on the periphery of our existence, haunting us from the darkness looming beyond our firelight. Black magic, weird cults, and worse things loom in the shadows. The children of Old Leech have been with us from time immemorial, and they love us. If you haven't read Laird Barron yet, I would recommend starting with short stories first to get acquainted with his peculiar style, but if you're looking to take that relationship to the next level, The Croning is what you need. In at number 3 we have Dreams from the Witch House, edited by Lynn Jamnick. This anthology brings more fresh perspective to cosmic horror with 19 thrilling short stories, all by female authors. These range from pieces written years ago and now finding a new audience, such as Joyce Carol Oates' Shadow of the Evening, to works by up-and-coming authors like R.A. Kalin, who authored the final story in the collection Memoirus. The history of the old world is shrouded in secrecy. Creatures and forces unimaginable inhabited this realm for eons, long before any human navigated the surface of the earth. As the old ones have slumbered or observed from afar, humans have assembled civilization upon this fragile planet, yet the whispers from the elders have been growing stronger, their energy once again seeping into the world. These whispers are being felt throughout the earth. From the roots of our flora to the dreams of our children, they are preparing us for what is to come. Each story deconstructs or reshapes typical Lovecraftian elements in some way, tending to emphasize individual experiences rather than giving into overwhelming cosmic madness. As Jamnick notes in the introduction, such stories fill not only a narrative gap, also a huge cultural one, that of a female voices in cosmic horror. Some of the most exciting Lovecraftian fiction is currently being written by women, she writes. We're moving away from the elder old guard who in some ways, as stifling trifling to diverse perspectives of the unnameable as Lovecraft's own views on the number of topics. One critic wrote, I quote, "I recommend this collection to anyone who enjoys incredible weird fiction. I was not disappointed with any of the stories. The artwork that Sarah created for each story are beautifully rendered." In at number 2 we have The Ballad of Black Tom by Victor Lavelle. Praised as one of the most nuanced Lovecraft retellings in the 21st century, The Ballad of Black Tom begins in 1924 Harlem with the hustler Tommy Tester. Tom has always kept a low profile, even as a street musician, until the day he's recruited by a reclusive millionaire Robert Soydam, who wants Tom's help to manipulate a creature of inconceivable darkness. With the introduction of jaded New York detective Malone, this tale twists into a true nightmare, as Malone recounts findings that signify a completely changed world. Charles Thomas Tester hustles to put food on the table, keep the roof over his father's head, from Harlem to Flushing Meadows to Red Hook. He knows what magic a suit can cast, the invisibility a guitar case can provide, and the curse written on his skin that attracts the eyes of wealthy white folks and their cops. But when he delivers an occult tomb to a reclusive sorceress in the heart of Queens, Tom opens a door to a deeper realm of magic and earns the attention of things best left sleeping. Not only is this novella compulsively readable, it's also another significant contribution to the subgenre. As an African-American man himself, Lavelle has noted that The Ballad of Black Tom is a conscious response to Lovecraft's racism and xenophobia, particularly in his story The Horror at Red Hook, upon which Lavelle's work is based. And indeed, by mirroring these prejudices in his book setting, which again is 1920s New York, Lavelle has created a brilliantly commentative and deeply resonant modern work that any reader can enjoy. The Ballad of Black Tom succeeds in being a compelling story that offers a new perspective and take on Lovecraft. Lavelle could put this spin on all Lovecraft's work and they should be a success. Despite a few serious moments, this is an entertaining read. And finally, in at number 1 we have Agents of Dreamland by Caitlin R. Kiernan. We'll wrap things up with an exceptional piece of cosmic horror by another female author, Caitlin Kiernan. In her novel Agents of Dreamland, a government agent called the Signalman attempts to gather information about an exclusive cult who call themselves the Children of the Next Level. The cult members consume strange fungi to physically elevate themselves, but as the Signalman finds out too late, these are no mere magic mushrooms, but biology warping weapons from another world. With plentiful body horror and a deeply disconcerting narrative style, this book is all of the best parts of Alia Whitley's The Beauty and Vonnegut's Slaughterhouse-5, neatly paying tribute to classic science fiction in the same breath as Lovecraftian horror. In a ranch house near the shore of the Salton Sea, a cult leader gathers up the weak and susceptible, the children of the next level, and offers them something to believe in and a chance for transcendence. The future is coming and they will help to usher it in. A day after the events at the ranch house which disturbed the single man so deeply that he and his government sought out help from other sources, Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Laboratory abruptly loses contact with NASA's interplanetary probe New Horizons. Something out beyond the orbit of Pluto has made contact. A woman floating outside of time looks to the future and the past for answers to what can save humanity. Well, there we have it. Do you guys agree with our list? What is your favourite cosmic horror book? Leave us all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below, and perhaps we can do a part 2. And on that note, if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Until next time, I'll see you later. It is a weird fiction that emphasizes. That was like a foreign word to me for a second. In at number 4 we have The Croning by Laird, right? Or is it Laird? Or I've seen Laird spelled like that, but it's Lord. Maybe I'm just an idiot. Laird Baron. Laird Baron. Okay, Laird. It's Laird right now. She did it on purpose to f with me. Sorry, don't like my hair again. End of day hair. Headphone hair.